What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are finally here. We are going to be talking about the final season of The Last Kingdom. What a ride, man. I can't believe that it's unfortunately now over. And it's been a hell of a season. 5 years of The Last Kingdom started in 2015. And I was about a season or two behind, then I got into it. And it was just wow. I mean, a lot of credit to the cast, especially Alexander Drummond, who played Uhtred. Hell of an actor, hell of a story for this Netflix series. So anyone that has not, first off, watched this show, you're missing out. Go check it out. It is worth it because this season a lot happened. I don't even know where to begin, but I'm gonna try to sum it up as much as I can. There will be a lot of spoilers in this video, so if you have not seen the final season, I urge you to go check it out before we start getting into spoiler territory, because not only did we get to see the return of a lot of characters, because in this entirety of the season, Uhtred is now facing several different threats. We are seeing where Brita is now coming after him, and we are seeing where she is raising a Viking army to go against everyone that is Saxon. And when she finally comes close to going after him, she goes after his son, and she does like the unspeakable. I mean, she literally cuts off his, I'm just gonna say as nice as I can, his manhood, as you'd say. Uhtred finds out, he goes for revenge, and then she starts trying to attack and takes over Sigur's and Historia's kingdom, and she's able to overtake them. And then when we see Uhtred finally come, they're finally able to push them back. And when this occurs, we also see where Athelstan has grown, and he's taken a big shine to Uhtred. He's become a father figure to him. And we see a lot happen throughout this story, because Uhtred is now like a father to Athelstan. He is trying to be a father to his own son and daughter. But his daughter, after going through a lot, she and Sturtrigger are still trying to be Danes, but we do see a big problem where the peace between Edward and them are they're not strong. And with all the deception going on with Edward's father-in-law trying to take over, have his grandson from his daughter take over after Edward is gone, or even as right now. But Edward, he was an asshole in this, man. I'm just gonna say he was an asshole. He's pretty much acting like his dad, and you guys know I did not like Alfred. He was a big pain in the ass. He was he was deceived throughout the entirety of the season. We see where he even meets someone new, gets with her, and later on we do see his own wife die because of her own father's ignorance, trying to start a war between the Dane and Saxon armies. And when this happens, we see where Edward wants to remarry this woman of Kent, I believe, and then they have a child together, which we later see that. And I'm just going to say this right now: Edward dies. Edward does not die. Uhtred does not die. There's a lot of death in here, though. We do see, unfortunately, with Lady Elfled, she does die of what I believe is breast cancer, and she dies with Uhtred, and it really breaks him to where he does not even know what to do after losing her. And then Brita tries to find some kind of salvation with going after Uhtred, but unfortunately after she loses her daughter, after her daughter tries to jump to her and she falls to her death, then Brita is lost, because she figured, oh, I have a daughter, but then I can do something with my life, and it just doesn't work out. And Uhtred, after losing Alfred and then he even loses Brita. I'm just going to say this now. Strickor dies by the hand of Uhtred because he asks us to, because after all the deception, we see the Danes attack the Saxon armies, and then the army that is being led by Edward's father-in-law, and he has so much power over him. But we even see where Uhtred comes to the aid of everyone, but unfortunately he's unable to stop it in time, and Stricker is ordered to be put to death. And we see where Storia, they come up with a lot of options of what to do here, but being as stubborn as her father, she does not want to bow down to Edward. She still wants, she's going to be an outcast, and she leads the Danes in her own way. And we also see where Uhtred, after of course losing, another love interest and is trying to protect his children, we see where Storia does kill Brita at the point of the season where Brita is begging for death by Uhtred because Uhtred just can't take as much as she just keeps doing to him, and she finally does die, but not at his hand. He just is like, I can't do it because if I kill you, I'm going to kill part of myself. Because you got to think, they've known each other since they were children. And even after everything she's done, he still couldn't kill her. She was a former friend, a former lover, love interest. It was extremely hard to not kill her because he couldn't kill her. And even after losing his other love interest and losing his former wife and then losing a child, losing his kingdom, which I'm going to go ahead and say now he does get his kingdom back, because we do see where Edward's niece, which was Alfred's daughter, she is kidnapped several times. She's trying to run away, and she's kidnapped to be handed down to become the queen of the Scottish king to try to take over Northumbria at this point in time. And it does not work out, because we see where word gets to Edward and even Uhtred, and they somehow combine their forces to go and save her. But again, Edward being Edward, just like his father, does not give Uhtred enough time to do what he can, and they somehow pull this off to where they not only beat the Scottish army, but they're able to take back Bethenberg, and Uhtred's able to finally get revenge, be able to kill his cousin, be able to get his own kingdom. He's become Lord Uhtred of Birkenberg again. And we even get to know of Edward's other son, because now Edward has 3 sons, I believe. He has a newborn baby with his new wife. He has one son by his former wife, who is now locked up after betraying his father. And we see Athelstan, who decided to stay with Uhtred because Uhtred has pretty much raised him since he was about, 9-10 years old. And he's now in his 20s, I'm assuming, or late teens, because we see where after Uhtred beats everybody, he even states that he's not going to, swear allegiance to Edward. He says, I'll pay your homage, but I'm not going to give you the lands. And that was the exchange that he had with the Scottish king, because he stated, look, I will be, he's going to be neutral to make sure that the lands are going to be, and I wouldn't say cleansed, but to where they're not going to be going crazy. And I will say it was interesting to see where all this was going to end, because I'm just curious, where exactly this is going to go, because we even see a huge, I would say it could go for a spin-off, because what happened with Uhtred, because right now his bloodline, the only way his bloodline is going to continue is through his daughter, because his son, unable to have children now, which again, even though he's a priest, he's still unable to have children at this point. And we also see where Uhtred, now being reclaimed his home, he is even wanting to training Athelstan, training everybody, but at the same time there is another phase, which I'm trying to remember, maybe you guys can help me out, the one that the nun, and I forget her name, who was a very good friend of Uhtred, who she became part of his little band of family. She was getting a young man to come meet him, and I'm assuming that could be his long-lost son. I think. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. And what happened with Edith as well as Uhtred? Did they get together? Did they have a life together? Who knows? Because now that the series have ended, we don't know if it's going to get a spinoff. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if it's got a spinoff, as long as they do it correctly and they don't try to do something crazy like Vikings Valhalla did. They don't try to mess up anything history-wise, just to fit an agenda behind for Hollywood, because I don't like that. I think that history needs to stay the same. I mean, if you can, put in some decent story behind it and you can make the story amazing, then I think it will work out either way. But overall, I did enjoy this season. I was on the edge of my seat. You did not know who was going to die. You were curious about what's going to happen. There were some I was kind of shocked they got killed as early as they did. Some I was hoping that they would get killed as fast as you would hope, because, for example, Edward's father-in-law, I wanted this guy dead within the first couple episodes, because I remember how much I hated him. And then next thing you know, he's the only way he dies is he basically commits suicide, and that's the only way he does, is he takes his own life. And I was like, wow, really? And after that, I mean, there's ones, you know, they get characters you just really don't like or you don't want to deal with. And then finally, they're like, oh man, they finally, you know, they die. And they're like, okay, finally, you know, I don't deal with this character no more. But then you got to deal with another kind of character. But at the same time, I am very happy with the ending. I think it was very poetic, I guess you'd say, in a way, because we got to see where Uhtred was reminiscing over the losses and the the good and bad of his life, because we got to see so much of the good and bad throughout his lifetime, and now we're wondering what exactly is going to go from here. So overall, I would have to say it was a very good ending. What did you guys think? Did you guys watch the last season of The Last Kingdom? Please let me know down in the comments down below if you guys enjoyed the content. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Also, what were your thoughts? Would you guys like to see a spin-off? Because I'm actually going to be doing a video on that as well. Would you guys like to see a spin-off? I'm going to be doing my thoughts on that on the next video here soon. But let me know what you guys thought about the review of The Last Kingdom. What were you guys' thoughts of the season as a series? Let me know, and I'll see you guys as always on the next one.